Hi there, everybody. Happy Thursday to all of you. I hope that you all had a good week so far. And tomorrow's Friday. Yay. I'm sure you're all very happy for that. Okay, so tonight we have the full moon in Scorpio. What does this mean? I've posted some stuff on Instagram and some of the other social networking platforms about the new moon in the full moon, in Scorpio. Tonight's full moon is special in its own way. All full moons are special, and you always hear people saying, "Oh, this is such a special full moon," and people are eventually like, "Oh yeah, well every full moon's special." Um, this moon is special because apparently it's the last super moon that we will have this year. All right, so that's very important to remember. It's a very powerful full moon in comparison to the rest that we will have the rest of the year. All right, so that's something to bear in mind. And when we talk about Scorpio energy is very spiritual. All right, it is very clairvoyant and psychic. So a lot of people who fall under the sign of Scorpio have got a lot of intuitive ability. Everyone has intuitive ability, but Scorpio just seem to be a little bit more in tune with things sometimes. And also, they are very passionate, they're very intense energies. So, this is the kind of energy that comes through. So, you're going to feel pretty intense. You may feel as if you're quite moody or your moods are up and down. You may also feel very intense in the sense that you may feel things intensely, okay? So, you may feel intense love, intense anger, intense happiness, be a bit overwhelmed. It tends to make us very emotional, not only because it's Scorpio, but it's full moon at the same time. So this makes for us being really emotional, sometimes volatile, and then sometimes just really weepy and wanting to release certain things. This may have even started a few days ago. That you're feeling, release. Maybe you feel like you want to cry for everything. Maybe you feel like you're being a little bit short tempered, feeling a little bit confused. This is your emotions, okay? Scorpio is very much attached to emotions, very much attached to emotions. And like I said, we've got full moon here. So, this is really attraction, romance, sorting things out. And like I say, when I say attraction, I mean for manifestation as well, and attraction with regards to romantic attractions and attractions of people to each other for business purposes, for other kinds of partnerships. So it's very important to remember all of this stuff and to understand that Scorpio can be a very complex kind of energy, all right? And you can feel like things are very complex and complicated, and that you are too complicated, and then everything just becomes complicated. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed or intense, or feeling that things are a bit intense, don't beat yourself up about it, don't panic about it. Like I always say, this too shall pass. One of the best sayings ever, because it's true. Okay, this too shall pass. So don't get freaked out by anything, don't let anything bother you too much. Go through the motions, and also we need to allow things to move out. This is very much a time of energy moving out and other energies coming in, and we have to be very aware of this. Like I posted this earlier on Instagram and the other social networking platforms. There's a lot of movement out, so this can happen with things to do with business and personal relationships, habits that you've cultivated for years that no longer serve you, and something that you've been meaning to get rid of. You could quit smoking right now, you could quit drinking right now, you could quit hanging around with the wrong people, you could quit whatever. You could quit not going to gym, okay, and just talking about it or just thinking about it. Or you could start something, okay? So energy going out, energy coming in, and you could start or pick up a hobby that you used to have, something that you used to love doing that you don't do anymore. So it's definitely such major shifts. You can see complete personality changes. This is the time of people changing things so drastically that if you notice that someone's changed their entire lifestyle, the way they dress, everything, this is the kind of energy. They're morphing into something that's more true to who they really are. Okay, and it's literally out with the old, in with the new. Okay, it's also about communication and putting ideas across to other people, people being receptive of those ideas, and things that you can attract to you. So you might have a more magnetic kind of an energy. You may be attracting the things that you want. And that's why I also said this evening again, also on social media, manifestation is high right now. So it's vitally important that we are very, very aware of where we are placing our attention. Are you focusing on what you don't want, or are you focusing on what you do want? Are you focusing on things that are hindrances and things that you feel are unfair in life, or are you focusing on your blessings? Where are you placing your attention? You need to sit and think about that right now and correct any areas that are not serving you, or that are not for your highest good, or not going to fit in with the version of yourself that you are trying to create. Okay. All right, so without further ado, let's see what's going to come up tonight. So I'm going to be using the Akashic Tarot. Let me show you. All right, Akashic Tarot, we definitely need better lighting here. Let me see what I can organize. It's a bit too much, isn't it? I have options, no. Okay, maybe that's not too intense. Maybe it just looks like it because it was so dark. I didn't realize. All right. Luckily, these cards are not too shiny either, which is very helpful. Okay, Akashic Tarot. This is what I'm using this evening to bring the messages through for you. Those of you who don't know what the Akashic records are, Akashic records are records of time past, what's going on currently, in other words, in the moment, right now, in the present, and future events as well. And this is for mankind as a whole, as well as on a personal level. So if you do your own Akashic records, this is basically talking about your past lives, future, present, and it's basically like an encyclopedia all about you. What has happened, will happen, is happening, and different aspects of your life. All sorts of things come through when you do the Akashic records. A lot of the time to do with what you should be doing maybe as a job in this lifetime, how you can live purposefully, and yes, anything that's come from past lives and stuff sometimes, or that you have to do in the future, comes up in your Akashic records. If you imagine that you are sitting in front of a computer and want to type something into a search engine like Google, and this search engine is all about you, and you type in what you want to know, okay? So you are searching information about yourself, and if I was, for instance, doing a reading for you, I would be the search engine like Google or Firefox or Chrome or whatever, and I would go in and I retrieve the information for you and give it to you. The Akashic records are basically a spiritual library with all of your information in, okay, and all of the information about all of us. So it's quite a fascinating concept, and it's actually very easy to access that because it all sits in the ether. To use also like more current terminology, it's like it's sitting in the cloud, and that's where you draw the info from, okay, but obviously on a spiritual level. So for those of you who didn't know what Akashic records are, that's what it is, and I'm using a Akashic tarot deck tonight, okay. I thought it was appropriate, seeing as this energy is quite important and it can be literally life-changing. So these are what I'm using, and then I'm using the Spirit Oracle that I use quite often. Anyone who watches regularly will know what they look like already. And these have really lovely messages that I usually use at the end of the reading. Okay, so let's get on with it. I'm going to ask tonight, I know that the guides and the guardians of all of us who are around, they are trying to help. They're really working with us right now, especially because we're in Scorpio and our intuition is heightened so much, okay, and our perception. And we might be getting messages and stuff that we don't even realize are spiritual messages. So these are things we have to be cognizant of and take note of and try to ask for. So if we sit in meditation, we need answers, ask the questions, get the answers. All right, so I always do these impromptu, so you have to give me a couple of seconds. I need to decide what I'm going to be, how I'm going to be phrasing the questions. And maybe I can get some guidance on what it is I should be asking. All right. So I think I should do what I usually do in a lot of the readings, and I should see what energy is moving out here. What is going out of our lives on a general basis as a collective, and what kind of energies are coming in. Okay. So let's see. Please can we know what kind of energies are leaving right now? What are we getting rid of? Or what is moving out of our sphere of influence here? What is moving out? The Eight of Forces. Okay, and it's the right side up. When you read these cards, if they do come up upside down, then we read them upside down. Okay, Eight of Forces. This is a lovely card, and this is a very important message. When we see the suit of forces, the forces are about literally the forces that are around us at the moment. This includes the elements around us, and it includes all sorts of other forces, emotions, passion, all of those kind of forces that move in us, around us, and in our great environment, such as the elements, wind, air, water, fire, all of these things. All right, and forces of nature here as well. This lightning bolt coming down signifies something that could be happening in your life or has happened that is very traumatic, that literally feels like you have been struck by lightning. It can also make you feel as if you have been really destroyed to your core, or it is threatening your livelihood even. So if you imagine this lightning bolt hitting the tree, the immense power that it has to hit that tree and completely split it in half or just about fry it, that is immense power, and it's immensely destructive. But what this card also says to us is, are we going to be overcome, or are we going to use this power of this lightning bolt that is so immensely powerful, and are we going to allow that charge to penetrate and use that energy, because it is being basically instilled in us. That lightning bolt's energy is being given to us, even though we've been struck by lightning, or we felt that something is that literally that bad, that it was a catastrophic event in your life, or something really that was a great loss or very painful. You can harness the energy of this lightning bolt. And what are you going to do with it? Okay, we're able to harness this energy, to suck in the energy of this lightning bolt, to fill ourselves with it, and decide where we're going to direct that energy. This occurrence in our lives, whether it's long term or something that suddenly happened, has built strength of character and has built strength in other ways. And we need to now know that that is instilled within us, and how are we going to use this immense power, this electricity that's inside of us, and how we're going to direct it. Okay, so this negative event or this negative feeling or occurrence is, this has shaped us somehow, but this is moving out. Okay, this is something that's moving away from us. Let's see what else we get. What other energies are moving out at the moment, please? I think this is like mostly just negative stuff that this is talking about as well. Things that we really feel have affected our lives in a negative way in the past. Okay. This is interesting as well. Let me see if I can rest them for you even. No, that's not going to work. Okay, the Three of Keys. When we talk about keys as well, we talk about, in this suit, things that are very important to us, things that affect us in our daily lives. So this can also be physical things such as jobs, our money, our success, things that affect our livelihood, all right, and also relationships. So things in your tangible 3D environment. And it also hinges on things that make you feel successful, things that empower you, how you basically put yourself out there and use your gifts and your power in the world to gain success and influence and all of these kind of things, but obviously in a good way. It's not like a forceful kind of energy. In this particular card, though, this chess game, this says that you're in some kind of situation where you have people around you who are being quite calculating, okay, where you feel like you can't trust people. And these people are represented by these chess pieces, and they're usually not people that you see as friends or people that you'd really like to spend time with, okay? So this can show, like, if you've had conflict, whether it is in your family, at work, you may have had something that's very, very difficult, and you maybe feel like somebody was calculating against you or conspiring against you, or you didn't feel like you could trust people around you. Okay. Sometimes when we think that sides are clearly divided, like on a chess board, we realize, oh, hold on a minute. A lot of these people involved are really just out for themselves. They're not even taking sides. So this element of like deceit or not being able to trust people, this kind of energy is moving out. This is really, really good because, I mean, this deck actually has very few cards that have negative connotations, and the ones that do have slightly negative connotations are coming up, but under the question of what is moving out. So these are negative influences leaving your life, which is really a great thing to see. Okay, this card also says that, like I said, you closing chapters. It's saying maybe it's time for you to take an emotional step back, or even a literal step back from whatever it is that this is. Uninvolve yourself in things that become heated situations and really are challenging, but don't really need your participation. Don't participate in any battle of will or picking sides, and also don't let yourself be deceived. Those times are over. Okay, very, very interesting that we get that card as well. Okay, let's see what else we have. What else is moving out, please? The Ascent. Okay. Seven of Keys. Again, this is about success, work, things that you've worked towards. Remember, keys are also things that lock away certain things in our lives that we really hold dear, that we would like to keep to ourselves, but they also open doors, they open opportunities. And when we see Seven of Keys, this is about somebody who has really literally climbed this mountain. They've been through hard times and they've been through struggles, and this is saying you are finally getting to the precipice, to the top of this mountain. These ropes and clips and all of this kind of thing are all the tools that you've used, all the aptitude or the effort that you've put in, or the aptitude that you've used. Those were your tools that you used to climb to where you are now. And finally you reach the summit. You stand on top and you look at this view and the expansiveness around you and all of these opportunities that open up. Okay, so for me, this is that this climb, this struggle, something that felt overwhelming for you and that it was never going to end, is finally going to come to an end now. And this energy is coming in. All right, I don't have too much more to say about this, do I? I just feel relief when I look at this card, and I think if I look in the background there, the view that this man must have after he's climbed this mountain, I feel it that like this is approaching and this climb is over. All right, this is what is over. This is we're literally at this pinnacle now, at the top, and looking out over the view, and we're about to see how expansive the universe can actually be. Very nice. Okay, so may I ask now, please, what energies are coming in for us? This is my favorite part. What energies are coming in? Oh, there it just pops out. The Queen of Keys. Lots of keys, guys. Keys, I have to actually just read to you what keys are all about. I would like to do that. Let me show you Queen of Keys first. Okay, you can't see very well here, but right in the background there, her husband's returning. So this woman, she's well established, she's well dressed, she's a queen, she's overlooking the expanse of her estate here, and she is just reveling in everything that's beautiful that belongs to her and that she's probably worked for. This often tells us as well that there's a woman that comes into our lives that is influential, maybe a business partner, maybe your wife or girlfriend, maybe a sister or somebody that can come into your life, a friend that has influence, all right? Somebody who's business savvy, somebody who can help you if you need to grow with a business, or maybe impart knowledge to you if you need some practical advice. Somebody who maybe is sometimes a little bit older or wiser. We don't always have to be older to be wiser. But this is the kind of energy that's coming in. There might be somebody coming into your life. Doesn't always have to be female either. But this is about aligning yourself with people that can be a positive influence for you, that can help you grow, that you can learn from. Maybe you are the Queen of Keys and it's time for you to step forward and stand in your power and help others and celebrate what you are and what you're capable of. Okay, let me quickly reach about keys because we've already got 3 cards. Where's my book? That we have about keys. I want to read this to you. The suit of keys represents the values, wealth, success, worth, abundance, career, authority, confidence, achievement, and power that you can experience and express in your life. Okay. Keys are emblematic of locking away and keeping safe what you treasure, but they also reflect opening at every level. Opening to ownership, opening to opportunity, to new directions, to greater power and possibilities. To lay a key upon one's shoulder instead of in the hand reflects the responsibility that a person can shoulder in life. After all, keys are given only to those with the authority to use them. Okay, that in itself says a lot even before we look at the Queen of Keys. Okay, it tells you very, very plainly how important these cards are and what they represent, and that you're being given an opportunity of some sort. Something is coming into your life, or someone is coming into your life that is saying to you, here are opportunities for you. Take the opportunities. There is a responsibility that you have to take opportunities and to grab what's been given to you right now. Just like she sees her husband arriving, there are things arriving for you too. Okay, and we need to be ready to take ownership, to know that we are responsible for taking on these opportunities and making the best of them. If a key is given to you and is put on your shoulder, you shoulder that responsibility, literally. This is what it's saying. Okay, so like I said, this is maybe a woman of authority, but this is very, again, a very sensitive, helpful kind of a person, okay? And she's very confident, and she's willing to share her success with others because she's willing to impart knowledge. That's why I say shared knowledge, or somebody that you can learn from that's wise, that will be helpful. And again, this really does talk about very much around career, if that's something that's a focus for you right now. It may even show that somebody can help you with regards to self-employment. If you want to start your own business, do something for yourself, maybe this influence is coming in some shape or form. Okay, that is wonderful. A lot of people are wanting to start their own businesses or get them off the ground, and I really feel that after this pandemic, we're going to have things coming through and wonderful things, and I think we're going to see industry shift and take on a whole new life of its own. What else is coming in, please? Is this one card? Yes, it is. 18, up in the air. Okay, I know exactly what this means as I look at it now. Literally, when things are up in the air, this it means anything is possible, okay? Which is fantastic for this kind of energy right now. This is saying the universe is abundant and it has infinite possibilities. Don't limit yourself through what you know. And I say this, I'm sure the people who I've actually done personal readings for are rolling their eyes right now because I can't say this enough. Us as human beings, we base what's going to happen to us or is happening on our very limited experience. And literally, we are a blip in time. We are not even an inkling of what is actually out there or possible. And our little time on earth is almost unnoticeable. Okay, I don't want to depreciate it at all, but in the larger scheme of things, our time here is very limited. And if we think we've lived on the earth for 20, 30, 40 years, we are so all powerful and knowledgeable that we immediately project stuff into our future based on our past. Please do not allow your past to be a barometer for your future. Okay, if things have happened in the past, they have passed. This is why it's called the past. And you need to live in the moment. You need to realize everything's up in the air, which means that anything is possible. And the universe is not limited by what you've perceived or learnt in this very short time you've been here. But we make presumptions on what outcomes are going to be based on our experience. And our experience is just about nothing in comparison to what the universe can provide for you and how it can open up doors, how it can give you keys to open up doors. So when something's up in the air, it means everything is possible. Anything and everything is possible. This is also the number 18. It's 8 and 1, which is a 9. This is saying that things are close to closing one cycle off and beginning another. When you're at number 9, it's just before number 10, which shows the closing of a cycle, and then we start with the number 1 again, which is new beginnings. So this is coming to the end of something, and that anything's possible, literally. When we open ourselves up to possibilities and we don't basically resign ourselves to things and limit ourselves inadvertently without even knowing it, this is when miracles happen. When we say, okay, well, I'm opening myself up to whatever's possible, universe, show me what's possible. Not, I have these options, it's this or this or this. Then you've already created that. You're projecting that into your future, into your reality. Please don't do that. Please say, show me what is possible. Put it out there. If you need to do something, ask, please show me how I can achieve this. Show me how I can afford this. Show me how I can bring this to people's attention if it's going to be good for them. Whatever you want to be possible, don't attach yourself to an outcome. Put the intention out there. Say what you want, what you're trying to do, and leave the rest up to the universe to also play a part and to show you possibilities that you could never have conceived of because you've never experienced it. Don't sell yourself short. Don't cheat yourself by limiting what your possibilities and by saying that you think or you know what the outcomes are going to be. Okay, because when we say we don't know, that is when miracles happen. When we actually admit how little we do know and we open ourselves up. All right, let us do one more card. Energies coming in, please. What else is coming in? And there we have it. The One of Keys. The Architect. All right. These cards are brilliant tonight. Keys, 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 guys. This is showing so much opportunity and also saying you have the key. You are the master of your destiny here. Don't just let life blow you around. Set an intention and then let the universe help you with it. Don't just float around and say, oh, nothing ever happens for me. Remember what I said about the 8 and the 9, something ending. Here's a number 1. These are things that are starting. Okay, here you can see the Architect, which looks like a pharaoh to me, and his queen. They are building something. They've got all these scrolls here. They've got a plan. Okay, and they're building something, and they have this workforce who are helping them. They are building something great. We all know what was built in Egypt and what great feats they achieved, and people still to this day don't even know how they did it. By some miracle, somehow, they built these beautiful things, but they had a plan. Do you see the scrolls here? This is about have a plan, set an intention, don't just float around in life. This is new beginnings. Something is about to begin, or it's in its beginning stages. And this is when it's in the beginning stages in this picture. He is planning and he's beginning to build. But when he's finished, this is going to be something that is going to stand the test of time, that's going to be remembered through ages. It's monumental. Okay, and this shows what you're capable of. You are the architect of your own life. This energy is coming in, this potentiality is coming in. You can literally point and direct and say, this is what I want to build for myself. Don't just float around. Don't let things show you what is going to be your fate. You do have control to a large extent. You can set intentions, you can manifest, and manifestation is high right now. This is what I said tonight as well. Manifestation is high, so it is vitally important that you are very cognizant of where you are placing that attention. Look where he's placing his attention and look what he achieved. Okay. This is very important, guys, and because it's important because your potential is insurmountable, unlimited. Remember, everything's up in the air. What he could create, what you can create, doesn't really have a limit. Okay, we've been programmed and brainwashed to think, you can only earn so much in life, or we have been had things repeated to us habitually through our lives about our family will never have money. We've never been rich people. Your father was a whatever, a let's not even say a job, as to not offend anybody, but people have been taking legacies from their families, and this is where family karma comes from. If you get told we've never had money, we've never been rich people, and it gets repeated to you over and over, you'll believe it. Oh, none of us ever went to college, you're not going to go to college either. Prove them wrong. Be your own architect. Build something amazing, mind blowing, because you have the potential right now. This is coming in, okay? This is starting. One of keys, you have the keys, you have the potential, you have all the tools, and you can tap into the knowledge. And we do have the spiritual assistance now. If we don't have the physical know how ourselves, we have people coming in to support us, and we also have those who are not seen. Okay, seen and unseen. They are here to support you and help you right now. Vitally important that you remember this and that you take advantage of it.